Okay, so these papers are circulating for anyone who wants to ask any questions. There's going to be a question and answer period afterwards. Inshallah, I know it's late. Inshallah, I'll try to keep it very short. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خير الناس انفعهم للناس. So my topic was mannerisms and da'wah and Muslim unity and camaraderie. A lot of what I was going to speak on, Brother Imran has spoken also about friendship and trying to be a good friend to others as well. Brother Dawar has spoken a little bit about that. And a lot of what Brother Umar Zia had spoken about, that Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi anil Munkar piece, what Brother Dawar said as well. It all kind of ties into that. I just wanted to remind myself and all of us here that it's important for us to have appreciation and being grateful. Brother Didar was talking about how it's just so nice and great for you to just even be here tonight, be given time tonight on a Friday night, on a school day night. This is something great that is a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us to even be able to be here. I teach, I'm a vice principal at a school where, subhanAllah, I'm in the office, I'm dealing with issues, kids are being brought, and a lot of these kids don't have parents in their homes. Their grandparents are raising them. Parents are out of the picture. They come and go. Right? Alcoholism is a huge problem. Right? These kids are swearing, fighting. I suspended 2 kids yesterday, 1 today. It's very chaotic. It's very chaotic. And this is intergenerational poverty. The kids are going through the same thing that their parents went through. Subhanallah, and I see them in this rut and in this, in a very tough, challenging situation. Subhanallah, all of us here are very, very lucky. We're very, very privileged. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in Makkah, when we read about the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we learn about how he was also in a time and in people that were quite lost, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used him and the Sahaba to make such a great change that today, more than 1400 years later, we call ourselves Muslims. We're practicing that deen which he brought to us. So that change, being an agent of change, right? Doing that Amr bil Ma'ruf Nahi anil Munkar, thinking of ourselves as leaders, thinking of ourselves as people that are responsible, that's what we want you to go into school with, that mindset. Go to school with that mindset, right? That you want to be a positive influence on others. And not just with your words, right? But more so with your actions. The saying that actions speak louder than words. So that's, it's important for us to, to have that mindset, to try to be role models for others. It's easy to just follow what everyone else is doing, right? It's easy to be a follower. Everyone's doing something, so I'm doing it too. Right? Everyone's dressing in a certain way, everyone's talking in a certain way. I'm just a follower. I'm doing that. But it's difficult to stand out. Everyone's swearing. All my friend circle swears. I don't do it. I'm not going to be like that. You're everyone else is doing it, but you're not. You're holding yourself to higher standards. I'm not going to do it. Just the last few days, I had to call the custodian so many times to go clean the washrooms. Can you guess why? Are you aware of that TikTok challenge last week about trashing the washrooms, taking the soap dispensers and getting rid of them? It's, like these little things, people think it's funny and it's causing so much problems. Are you going to be someone who stands up and tries to stop someone from doing that? Or are you going to laugh about it if you find out that someone's doing it? So let's be role models. Let's be examples in our school. We talked about Islamophobia. Just today, I was reading an article, And this one writer, one professor in a university in the U.S., he teaches Islamic studies. He says he's been, for the last 20 years, he's been a professor. He's been teaching in the university. He's been on interviews. He's written books. And he said that changing Islamophobia is not going to come from teaching, from books, from interviews. It'll come from those relationships. If we want people to think good about Muslims and Islam, we need to show that. We need to show that in our friendships, in our relationships, in the way that we deal with people, with our teachers, with everyone around us, so people can say, I know a Muslim, and that's not true. They can be watching the news, they can hear all this negative stuff, but they'll say, no, I know a lot of Muslims, and they're good people. We need to make sure that we show that we're good, and that our deen is good. So, in school, November 7th is the daylight savings time. Okay, you might have difficulty praying your dhuhr at home, depending on your schedules. What are you going to do about your salah? Right? You want to make sure you're praying your salah, and you want to help other people out as well. Self-advocate, like Brother Marzia said. If there's an MSA happening in your school, right, especially if you have a Muslim teacher who's leading it, don't shy away from it. Don't ignore it. Be a part of it. Be a part of change. Be a part of good. It's easy to ignore and not go for salah. I was in a meeting a couple of years back, and one principal at a school in Mississauga, she told me in the meeting, she goes, there are Muslims in my school. I wish they would ask me to come in if they want to pray Jummah. I would love to accommodate for them. Right? Muslims are not even asking for it. They're what they need. Right? So let's be people who try to make an environment. You're a Muslim at home, you're a Muslim at school. You're a Muslim in the masjid. You're a Muslim everywhere you are. Let's keep that in mind as we go through this full year, inshallah. One of the words, I'll end off with this. One of the words which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses in the Quran is Khalifa. وَالَّذِي جَعَلَكُمْ خَلَائِفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah made you his vicegerent on earth. إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. I'm making on the earth a Khalifa. We are representatives of Allah on earth. We are representatives of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wherever we are. So let's live by that. It doesn't matter how old we are. If we don't work on ourselves now, things will become habits, right? We can either bring good habits, which will stay with us for life, or we can bring in ourselves bad habits, which may stay with us for all of our lives. May Allah protect us all, inshallah. So I'll conclude with that, inshallah. And so we're going to move on to the question and answer.